Here we go. NFL playoff edition with Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. We got our co-host Ryan here, and we got a special guest. You might remember him from the Baseball World Series video. Jake is here with us. What's going on, man?
Howdy.
That's right. You ready to talk some football?
Sir, Wildcard weekend. Let's go.
Let's do it. I have been waiting for this video for a while. As Ryan said in the past, week 16, 17, 18 are just like, come on already. Let's get to the playoffs. We are here. It's time. Before we dig in, I got to say a big thank you to all you guys. We are at 425 YouTube subscribers and almost 9,000 TikTok followers in one season. You guys are awesome. Can't do it without you guys. Appreciate it. We're going to dive in, give you some best bets, and we're going to preview every game. Me and Ryan are not going to give out new best bets for the Chargers Jaguars because we're going to go live on YouTube for that game on Saturday. Be sure to check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But in this video, we're going to preview every game, give out best bets, and then we're going to end it with some Super Bowl predictions. Well, I'm going to give you who's going to be in it and win, and they're going to just try to guess. I don't know what they're going to give you today. Sorry. But
I can't guarantee that.
You cannot say that. So every matchup this weekend, real quick, has already been played this season, which is wild to me. They've all played this season. There's 3 divisional games this weekend, which I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but it's a fact. So we're going to start out. Yeah, we're going to start out with our Seahawks. We are all Seahawk fans. We all know that. We're going to start with that game. Before we start, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate everybody. Let's dive in. I am ready to freaking roll. Let's do it. Seahawks Niners. Right now, Niners minus 9.5. That's a lot in a playoff game. Over under 42.5. They have played twice already this season. 21-13 Niners and 27-7 Niners. They do say it's hard to beat the same team 3 times.
Yep.
I don't think it will be this time. But yeah, guys, what do we think about this game?
I mean, it's always hard to beat a team 3 times. I won't say it's going to be easy for them, especially because, like we talked about earlier, the Seahawks have nothing to lose. They know that they can only attack. So that's going to give them some pros and some cons. The pros is that they might make some big plays, but Jackson has had Jackson. What? There's one for you.
Tavares Jackson.
Tavares? Wow.
Going back.
Sorry, Gino. Gino has made some questionable throws in the last couple of weeks, and against that defense, that could just open up more opportunities for San Francisco's offense. And I don't care what anyone says, they have a ton of weapons. And I'm not a Niners fan. Obviously, they're our biggest rival in the division, but they have too many offensive weapons. And if we don't control the ball on offense, we're just going to give them more time. And we all know from the history of our defense, we get tired quick, fast, and in a hurry. And all that does is give up points.
Yeah, I agree.
He nailed it. I mean, the weapons just are unreal. Kittle, McCaffrey, and the Seahawks struggle so bad against the running backs out of that backfield, whether it's running the ball, catching the ball, tight ends. We're terrible, and those are some of their best weapons. Seahawks do an okay job at guarding receivers, but that's not like their huge weapon for the Niners. So, yeah, we as the Seahawks, we got to control that ball. So you're right. If we take some chances and throw some bad picks or fumble or hold on to the ball and Bosa gets us, that could be bad.
Not just Bosa. They have 4 first-round defensive linemen. I don't know if you guys know this.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say we can talk about Debo, who's back, Ayuk, McCaffrey, Kittle, but they dominate the line of scrimmage against us too. Like when you see McCaffrey get the ball, like we're not pushing the line at all. We are being shoved back, and it is just easy peasy for them. So other than more weapons and dominating the line of scrimmage, we got a chance.
I mean, it's football.
There's always a puncher's. Yeah, it's a puncher's chance. You know, they could come in overconfident, knowing that they handed it to us. You know what I mean? In the last matchup. I mean, it happens in the NFL at every level of sports, not just football. Teams come in overconfident, and there is a chance to look past the team, especially since you've already beat them twice.
Yep,
that's true. They could very well be. I hope so. Weather report: 50s and rain. It could be light rain, but there's also a chance it could be an absolute downpour. I say the more rain, the better as a Seahawks fan, because why not? Like, let's muddy this game up. Let's just make it crazy. You know what I mean?
So it's still scary because you've got 4 first-round defensive linemen.
True.
And I love Kenny Walker, but like you said, they dominate us on both sides of the ball on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, and when Kenny Walker's trying to get to the line of scrimmage, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think the problem is that they can get pressure with 4, which makes passing hard when you drop all those guys because they know they can just get the pressure with 4, and
Right.
and that's the struggle. And I think I don't think Walker's going to have a lot of success. You're going to have to run it just to keep him honest, but it's going to be a struggle. The problem is Kittle just absolutely destroys us too.
God.
He just kills us. He has 7 touchdowns also in his last 4 games, so Brock Purdy does like him quite a bit.
It's 5 in the last 2, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, he has like 2 or 3 in one game or something. Yeah, it's he's been going bonkers. McCaffrey's played us 3 times, and he averages 180 total yards against us every game.
Ooh.
That's the most versus any team for McCaffrey. Man, guys, we're saying all these things. Give me one thing how the Seahawks can win. What is the recipe for success for them to have a chance at the end of this game?
You got to get a turnover. Turnover 2, special teams, special team touchdown, change the field with a big punt return, big kickoff return. And then offensively, I think you take chances. Seahawks sometimes get into hand the ball. Let's see what's going to happen for 2 quarters, 3 quarters. And I don't think you can do that against this Niners team. You got to come out ready to go right away or they're going to bury us.
They're going to have to get rid of the ball quick. If Gino's going to have any success, it's going to have to be a 2-3 step drop and let go of the ball. And he's going to have to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers for us to have a chance. Because every time we've seen it 3-5 step drops, he's not great at reading the field. I mean, granted, he's got a 70% completion percentage, but not a lot of those balls are downfield. What opens him up for his great deep ball skills is getting the ball out to the flats, 2-3 times in a row, and then boom, opens up DK down or, Lockett running the fade. So got to be quick out of his hand and early.
Yep, I agree. Frustrate those D linemen. Get rid of the ball. Don't let them even have a chance to get to you. I would like to see Pete Carroll also, along with playing aggressive, coach aggressively. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have 4th and 2 and say you're at midfield, like we're not playing field position here. Like let's go for it. We are playing to win. We have nothing to lose, like you said. I'm not gonna say the Niners are gonna score in every possession, but they're gonna be hard to score. They will put up points. I promise you that, a good amount of points. We have to keep up. But yeah, we got to keep the ball out of their hands and just I don't know. We'll see. Ken Walker is fun to watch, but if you don't got anywhere to run, it's gonna be hard. So we'll see. All I know is this is awesome for our young guys just to have a chance like this, to get the experience for the future. This is going to be awesome, whether they lose 30-0 or whatever it is, or if they win the game. Like, it's a great experience for them. So on the injury report, safety Ryan Neal may come back. He's a good defender for us, so he's going to be back. Lockett seems fine. Kenneth Walker seems fine. They showed up earlier. But other than that, I mean, we'll see what happens in this game. But I think me and Ryan each have a best bet. Jake, you do not have a best bet in this game, correct?
Not in this game. Too scary.
All right. If you had to lean one way, where you go, Jake?
Unfortunately, with the Niners, I mean, that defense is just too good. Purdy's been way too good at controlling the football. I mean, he hasn't turned the ball over, often. So he's keeping the offense in tempo, and that defense is just so good.
Yeah, so good. Yep. Ryan, give me your best bet, because I know we are on opposite sides on this. Let's start it out.
Oh, yeah. I see you smiling over there. It's a pretty easy one in my book, but I'm going over. I'm going over 42.5 in that game at -110 for the points. It's an easy one in my eyes. I mean, the Niners in the last 6 games, listen to this: 38 points, 37 points, 37 points, 21, so close, not too big right there, and 35 and 33. They score points lately. Purdy is just dominating. The Seahawks defense can't stop them. So we're going to have to put up some points. All we got to get was like 10, 14 points maybe, and we cover. So 42.5 at -110. Lock that one in.
So hold on, you're already saying it's going to be like 30-something to 10 then,
no,
right?
But it could
if you're
be.
Already if you like that, well, it has to be to go over. So if you think that, why don't you just go Niners -9.5? If they're just going to win by 20 something.
I can't do that to my Seahawks. And like we were talking about,
fair.
They just got to have a chance and a turnover or a big play, and we're there. And then I'd be like upset that we Win because I lost my bet. I'm not doing that. That's just stupid.
Okay. Are you done?
Wow.
Sure, go for it.
Okay,
I can
you're
tell
done.
you're ready to
Guys,
jump in.
My best bet, and me and Ryan are gonna have to put something on this. Under 42.5. It's already done it twice. They've scored 34 points total in both games. I almost took the Seahawks team total under 16, but I didn't want them to maybe get a garbage touchdown at the end and get to 17 barely or something like that. But I like both bets. I'm taking under 42.5. The Hawks are going to struggle to score. As much as it hurts to say it, they are going to massively struggle to score. The only way this goes over is I see maybe some turnovers, sloppy play, Geno's throwing picks or anything like that. But other than that, the Niners aren't in here to score 50, win by 40. They want to get in, win, get out healthy. And I just see this game going under 42.5, just like it's gone under divisional games, Ryan. How much have we talked about that this year? They're hitting at like a 65% clip under in divisional games. Keep rocking the under, baby. Playoff time,
Nope.
under 42.5. That is the winner, not the one
chance.
right before me.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Let's move on to the next game. Okay, we done talking about our Seahawks now? Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. We are going live for this game. Me and Ryan will talk about it, but we are not giving out a best bet. Chargers -2 against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. They get a host. They are 9-8, and they get a host a game after their ugly win over the Titans last week. They played in week 3. The Jaguars won 38-10. Do not base your prediction off that game. First of all, it's week 3. Second of all, Justin Herbert was coming off pretty much broken ribs the week before against the Chiefs and should not have played that game. They had no Keenan Allen. That game was that was ugly, and it has nothing to do with how these teams are playing right now. Jake, I'll kick it to you first. What do you think about this game? Because to me, this is maybe the most interesting game of the weekend.
To me, it's not even an interesting game at all. I see the chart. I'm leaning Chargers heavily. And the reason I'm leaning Chargers heavily is because of how well they've played in the last few weeks. Now, they don't always play the prettiest games, but they come on top of those pretty games. The Jaguars got lucky. I mean, they somehow figured out a way to beat Dallas. What was that game? 40-34, something like that. And then they pick 6 to win last week against
fumble recovery.
Was it fumble recovery?
Yeah. Yep.
Against Tennessee. And I mean, Tennessee, sorry, horrible. Dobbs, he got thrown to the wolves. I mean, Tannehill, everyone can talk about Tannehill as much as they want to, but in my opinion, it showed what he means to that team. And I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be a high-quality caliber quarterback for the rest of his career. I mean, he had his first 2 seasons weren't great, but how many, rookie second-year quarterbacks have great seasons? You know what I mean? He showed improvement over the last 2 years. You can see him controlling the offense now, but I just don't think they have the weapons yet to make that push. And I think the Chargers have a more veteran team. Keenan Allen, like you said, he's a spark plug for that guy, and he catches everything. Herbert, he's Herbert's go-to, and I think he's going to get leaned on a lot. I would guess that he has a well over 10 targets, and this is not going to be close.
Wow. Okay. Herbert's first playoff game, road game, not even close, says Jake.
He's
Miles,
man.
We agreeing or what?
I think I'm agreeing with Jake. As far as an interesting game, I think this is like one of the most interesting games as far as matchup and just like this young superstars coming into their own in playoffs. So that's exciting for me to see. And I'm excited for that. Just, Trevor Lawrence, Herbert, first time in the playoffs, see what happens. And I think it stays close. I do think it stays close, but I do like the Chargers. I mean, the Jaguars really struggle at guarding slot wide receivers. That's where Keenan Allen plays most of the time and comes out of, and he dominates. And Herbert loves him. Eckler's got it going. The defense is coming on a little bit. The only thing that they got to watch out for is their head coach. Like, let them play. Figure it out. Don't get in the way of what you got going. Like, I feel like the 3 of us can get out there and do a better job than this guy, but I mean, obviously not, but it feels like that at times.
What? Whoa. I think we could.
Brandon Staley, I think.
Yeah. Brandon Staley better win this game. No, I agree with you. Guys, how do I talk about this game without giving away where I want to bet this Saturday?
Yeah.
So it's a strength versus weakness on both sides of the ball right here. So the Jaguars like to run, and when they play well, they run ETN, and the Chargers' run defense is absolutely atrocious, and they're dead last in the league, giving up 5.4 yards per carry. So if the Jaguars can run the ball, they can keep this game close, in my opinion. And then you go to the other side of the ball. The Jaguars are a bottom 10 pass defense. And guess what the Chargers do more than anybody else almost? They throw the ball, and they throw it a ton. Eckler is used in the running game just to be like, yeah, we'll show you the run, but all we want to do is pass. They pass like they're top 3 in pass attempts. I just think they're going to be able to throw the ball on the Jags. Jags might be able to run the ball on the Chargers. And I probably gave away too much there, but I just think the matchup strength on weakness is going to be interesting to see. Here's the last 7 quarterbacks the Jags have faced, just so in case anybody thinks the Jaguars are legit. Josh Dobbs, solid? No.
Stud.
Davis Mills? No.
Another stud.
Zach Wilson, maybe the worst. Dak Prescott, yes, a decent, okay quarterback, but they gave up 34 to him. Ryan Tannehill, no. Jared Goff, yeah, decent quarterback.
Yes.
But guess what? They gave up. That's your boy. But guess what? They gave up 40 to him. Okay, there's a theme here. Anytime they play a good quarterback, they give up a ton of points. And number 7, Lamar Jackson. That offense has been horrendous, passing the ball for a long time. Guys, they don't play anybody good, and when they do, they give up a lot of points. I think this Jags team is overrated a little bit for playing the Texans and the Jets offense and the Titans twice. I just think they're overrated. We're gonna find out. They did kind of have a playoff game last week, so they're in the mode already. I don't know if that's an advantage or not, but injury-wise, Bosa, another Bosa, 2 Bosas in a row. Rough life for that family. Him and Mike Williams are both probable for this game, so they should play. Bosa played a little bit last week when he got back. That's going to be huge, which we didn't talk about Mike Williams, by the way. You have Keenan Allen as a safety blanket, but if you just want to throw a one-on-one ball, there ain't nobody better at catching those than Mike Williams. There ain't many guys better. He's a stud. They're loaded. That's what I got. Me and Ryan aren't going to give out a best bet, but I got a good one for you on Saturday, so be sure to check that out. Jake, you don't have a best bet, I don't believe, or is this part of anything you got?
Yeah, I got it later on as a part of little dish that I got.
You want to just say it at the end? Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say it again. But I do have a question for you guys, and this is something I haven't understood about NFL, and this is going to be a real quick one. How did Eckler go from being one of a top-tier type running back to being almost nothing in that offense?
Because he's not anything. He's something in the passing game for sure. He gets a ton of targets every game. They throw into him a lot, but it's just Staley in this offense. They throw it. I think I saw it one time. They were first or second in the league and how many times they throw it. They just abandon the run quickly. I don't think their O-line pushes, and they're not great run blockers from what it looks like. But I just
utilizing
think
what they have.
I just think, they give up on it too. I just think they give up on it. And they've had a bad defense for a while. They've been better lately in the second half of the year, but they've just been playing catch up a lot. And I don't know. I think it's more just blocking and scheme wise. I think it's Staley just wanting to be an idiot and throw it 75% of the time. You know what I mean?
I think it's Herbert. I think they just want to show off Herbert and see what he could do and just make the splash plays. The coaches, obviously, I don't think he's the greatest coach, and he's just I just want to see what Herbert can do. Whether he's going to sling it to Williams or Keenan Allen or dump it to Eckler, and they just choose to pass too much.
If you run, that opens up your passing game even more.
I agree 100%. You're not wrong.
Right. Jake, don't talk logic to Staley, okay? Don't do that. He doesn't know logic. But I will say this, and maybe I'm in the minority here. From when I watched Austin Eckler run the ball, I don't think he's listen, he's elusive and he's quick. I don't think he's a legit 3-down. Even when I watched Kenneth Walker, his jump cuts, his vision, he is something special. Austin Eckler is kind of a receiving running back, and he always was that until he kind of took over. I don't think he's the greatest running back there is out there, but he's a great receiving back for sure. That's just my opinion.
And I definitely wasn't saying that but he was a top tier type guy, right? He was a 1-2 down back, and those are the guys you give your money to. It's just weird that he went from being that 1-2 down back to your prototypical 3rd down back that gives you that out. But they use him on all 3 downs. So it was just a question.
Yeah.
I couldn't
No.
understand it. Scheme makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah. No, I agree. Nothing the Chargers do make sense, to be honest. All right, so me and Ryan are going to give out a best bet later. This is a part of a little tasty dish for Jake's bet a little later, so we'll give that out. Let's move on to the next game. Guys, let's not focus too much on this game, please. Let's move on from this. Dolphins, Bills. Bills are minus 13. The Dolphins are starting. You know what? It doesn't matter. Their quarterback situation is absolutely horrendous. No Tua, thank God. Tua should not be playing, by the way. He needs to take a year off or something. He is going to have a rough life after football if he keeps getting concussions. But it's not him. Bridgewater's questionable. What is it? A thumb?
No, well, he got a concussion too, right?
Oh, was it a concussion too? I thought he was dealing with some other injury too. Yeah, he's got something, so he's questionable. So it's Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson's absolutely awful, guys. He has 1 touchdown, 3 picks, QB rating of 62.2 in the few games he's played. He is horrendous. I don't have a best bet for this game. It's 13 points. I don't like betting 13 points. Ryan, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, like you said, not much to talk about. The Dolphins, this is not how you get into the playoffs. They really backed themselves into the playoffs. What they score 11 points, kick 3 field goals, got a safety type of situation. Like, terrible. Their team revolves around Tua, and he's out, and I don't think he should keep playing football, but I'm not a doctor, but I just don't think he should be playing any more of those concussions. It's no joke. They have weapons, but if you don't have a decent arm to get them the weapons, this don't matter. And the Bills' defense is good. Allen's a stud. There's no hope.
Allen's
Oh, Jake has something to say about it. I want to hear it.
Oh, what? You better watch how you speak. What are you about to say?
I like Josh Allen just fine. I feel like he's starting to get into that overrated category. I mean, he's great at the downfield ball. He's lucky to have Stephon Diggs. But the guy turns the ball over all the time.
He's a gunslinger. Gunslingers do that. Yep.
No, they do. Brett Favre's a gunslinger, and he still didn't throw as many picks as Josh Allen does.
Has the most. No, wait. Doesn't Brett Favre have the most interceptions in NFL history?
Don't talk about my guy like that, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he has the most interceptions in NFL history. But if not, he's in the top 3 or 5.
Well, that top 3 or 5, that's easy when you throw the ball 7,000 times. Of all time.
Jay Cutler, we all remember him. I think he threw a lot of. He's a gunslinger. But anyways, I get your point. Yes.
Did you put Jay Cutler and Brett Favre in the same category?
Gunslingers that don't have any thought at all, and they just throw the ball. I'm not saying they're the same quarterback. Come on, get your stuff together. Can you finish with Josh Allen? Because I have something to say.
This is just where he gets scary later on in the playoffs for me. I think against a team like Miami, he's going to have a lot of success because he's going to have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
With a 3rd to 4th string quarterback that Miami's going to have, they're not going to get the ball to Tyreek Hill, which is the catalyst of their entire offense. They're going to put 2 guys on him all game because they only have a couple. Jalen Waddle, okay, sure, but is the quarterback going to be able to make the reads to get those guys the ball? So Josh Allen's going to have a lot of opportunities, but is that enough further down in the playoffs? Like, sure, I guess I know we're talking about the wild cards and everything like that, but is it going to keep them going? Is my question.
No, I agree. And speaking of that, I will say Josh Allen has been inconsistent throwing the ball. He's been a little inaccurate sometimes, and he has thrown some picks, and that's why you don't talk about him in the MVP race that much right now.
Right.
Like, he's in top 5 maybe, but he's not close to number 1 right now.
No.
I agree with that, but I don't know. I just think we need to fast forward. And when game 1 hit in week 1, we were all like, you know what? Can we hurry up and fast forward to the AFC title game in the 4th quarter when the Bills are tied with the Chiefs and we see who wins? Like, that's where we are heading, people. Like, it's just heading there.
Yeah.
Can we just get there? Like, just let's hurry up and get there. I know the Bengals are showing a little bit, but you know what? They've been injured, and I don't think they're going to get there. But I agree with you a little bit. Brett Favre, you should definitely look up the interceptions on Brett Favre for his career. But
Brett Favre was a stud.
Brett Favre was a stud. I'm not saying he wasn't. I didn't know that was your dude, Mr. Favre. Really quick, Jalen Waddle should play. Raheem Mostert, who had 136 yards last game against the Bills. Remember that weird game where they just ran all over the Bills? It won't happen again. Raheem Mostert's out anyway, so take that out. So they're now on Jeff
That's
Wilson
brutal.
and Skylar Thompson go to Buffalo and win a game. Not happening. Can I just say one more thing? If I had to lean, by the way, I would lean Bills minus 13. I do not have a best bet for this. Let me get this straight. 2 years ago, the Dolphins fired Brian Flores. Remember that whole debacle? Didn't he sue them and all this stuff because he accused them of wanting to tank or what was it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
They fire Brian Flores. Everyone was shocked. They add Tyreek Hill. They add Bradley Chubb. They have this offensive guru head coach, and they get the same record, 9-8. That's what just happened after all that. 9-8 to 9-8. Congratulations. Good job.
But you have to look at how things went down too. I mean,
no. Tua wasn't healthy the whole time for Flores either.
Right,
and he didn't have Tyreek Hill.
You're rude.
I
mean,
okay, I got nothing.
It's really tough for a coach to coach, especially as an offensive-minded guy, when you're on your third and fourth string quarterback. I mean, there's a reason these guys are third and fourth string quarterbacks. I mean, you can stay for the most part. Brock Purdy is an anomaly.
Yep.
Who would have ever thought
that roster's loaded too? I mean, that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it does, but I mean, unless you go back to the mid 2000s Patriots, how they had 3 starting quarterbacks, and I think all 3 of them in successive years were Pro Bowl guys. Like that doesn't happen often, right? So your third string guy is the guy that brings your first 2 guys water. You know, your second guy brings the towel. The third guy brings both those guys water, and pats them on the butt and tells them how great they are. So that's tough. But what did they start? I mean, they started the year great, but just once
I'll tell you, they have a 5-game winning streak this year and a 5-game losing streak.
Right. That's brutal. That's
wild. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows Tua was not playing that well before he went down again. They were struggling, and you heard all these articles that people are starting to figure out their offense. They're covering the middle of the field. He was not playing that well. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying Mike McDaniel's a bad coach. By the way, he is the coolest coach in the entire NFL. If you have not seen videos of him on social media, he is awesome. How he talks and everything. He doesn't even sound like a coach. He sounds like a dude that just went to Harvard and he's just chilling. Like, he is awesome. But I just want to point that out.
5'7", so happy to be hanging around. He's that little nerdy dude that had that had the giant friends growing up, and he was just like, "What's up, guys? We're super cool, aren't we?"
So that was me following you guys around in high school.
No,
This
no,
entire time?
no! Don't you say that? Don't you say that?
But really, like, he is cool. I saw a video of him saying he was talking behind a little his play sheet to Tua, saying, "Dude, I was up all night. I didn't have anything else to watch, so I just watched your high school film." And he said something like, "Dude, your technique was awful. Like, it was just awful." It was just or something. I forgot exactly what he said, but it was hilarious. I just want to point out that he finished with the same record at 9-8 that Brian Flores got fired for. So
I don't think that guy lasts long though. I think he's got maybe 2 years left. And the reason I say that is because Pete Carroll is a player's coach, right? But Pete Carroll also has the respect of being an older guy, being a professional for the last
done it before. Yeah.
Geez, what is he? He's 79, 100 years old now. He's been doing it for so long. Okay, I love the guy to death, and I think it's great. But he's been doing it so long, he's got that rapport with so many different players. I mean, not just on his team, throughout the entire league. This guy is also a player's coach, right? They like playing for him because he's one of the guys.
Yeah.
But when does that stop being good for the organization, right? Like, when does that 9-8 season just not be good enough? Like, and even though you're a coach that all the players like, owners say, okay, we need to bring someone in who's a coach.
It's his first year of coaching right now. So, I mean, you expect, to take
overall?
Yeah. Yeah, his first year. He just got hired from the Niners.
I think so.
Mike
but
McDaniel.
To Jake's point,
so it's first year.
I think he's got to start winning early, or they're going to be like, this is kind of gimmicky. This isn't really looking the right way. You're still hanging around 9 wins, 10 wins, getting bounced in the first round. If he does that 3 years in a row,
he got.
Guys, I've been saying this for a long time. We don't have any more time. I don't want to make this too long, but I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, Tua's not that good. He just isn't. He's not. He had Tyreek Hill. He had a system that people weren't used to yet. He doesn't have a strong arm, doesn't have a quick release. I don't love Tua that much. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just do not think he's very good.
Oh,
And I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
they're going to go
Tua's
that
their
far
answer.
because of him. No,
Yeah.
Tua, and their
Good.
defense is just not that good either. But anyways, we move
They got
on.
a lot of holes.
Jake, I do not have a best bet. Jake does have a best bet for this game, though. Ryan, do you have any lean or anything if you had to pick?
It's the 13's tough. Maybe lean the under for the game. The Bills sometimes offensively hold the ball forever, so the game goes by quick. So maybe go lean under, and the Dolphins cannot put up points. So maybe lean the under
the
for the
Bills
game.
are notorious for 13 plays, 70 yards, used 8 minutes of the clock.
Yeah. Yep.
Jake, give us your best bet, please.
Well, this best bet is wrapped up in one of those little pools of yumminess. So I have a 14 parlay.
I thought you had something else.
Oh, I did. I forgot.
You have something else. You don't need to give the yummy yet.
This guy helped me beat Ryan earlier in the year. Twice, actually. My bad. To become our fantasy league champion.
Oh, Lord.
My bad. Okay, sorry about that.
Too early.
Stephen Diggs. Too early? Okay, Stephen Diggs over half receiving yards at minus 115.
How many yards was it? You cut out for a second. How many yards?
Over 77.5.
Okay.
The reason I think that is I think they're going to try to get the ball out early. I think they're going to try to score early. And he is one of the best deep threats. But not only that, he is their most sure-handed, catcher. So I think he's going to get a lot of targets early. He's going to rack up yards through the first 3 possessions. And I'm guessing before half he's over 77.5. But that's me.
Ooh, I like it. Honestly, I think he can get that, he can get 40, 50 in one play, like you're saying. Like right. For your sake, I hope he gets it or most of it in the first half, because if they're up by 20, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The game script's not good. But that's a low total, 70-something for him, I think. So
that's what I thought too. But I mean, he has had the second half of the season has been rough for him. I mean, the last 3-4 games, his targets were down, and I don't know if that was scheme wise, if they were doing that on purpose, if they're trying to save his legs for later on in the season. They weren't playing teams that their record wasn't good, their defense wasn't good.
Yeah.
I don't think you do that to your superstar to begin with, but
it's Gabe Davis time. That's why Gabe Davis is playoff receiver. He had like 3 TDs in a game last week.
And Allen's been leaning on Knox so hard.
He has.
Tight ends have been lighting up the scoreboard the last couple of weeks.
I wish he did that earlier, because I drafted him and named my team a Hard Knocks Life, and then he did nothing in the first half of the season. But whatever.
Pretty sure I picked him up in the second half. Yeah,
you probably took him. I couldn't get him back. All right, we move on. See, we didn't talk about that game for too long, right?
Not at all.
All right, guys, we're picking up the pace here. Giants at Vikings. Vikings -3. I lied. This might be the closest game of the weekend. This is gonna be great. 48.5 over under. The weather's gonna be good. It's in a dome, and I heard they have good weather. But here's the deal, guys. Let me just say this. Let me count. 5 words. This is all you need to know. Kirk Cousins in primetime. That's it. They put him in a primetime game. How rude of the NFL to do that. That is just not right.
They've done it all season.
I know.
The Broncos got 3 Monday Night Football games. How?
I know. Vikings 7-1 at home. And out of those 7 wins, they've only won 1 by more than 1 score. The Vikings are, I don't even know their record. What is their record like? 13-4. That's where it is. Guess what their scoring differential is? -3. -3, and they're 13-4. Fraudulent. I've called them that all year. They're freaking fraudulent. They have the best player in the world, though, Justin Jefferson. The Giants had a -6 scoring differential. They're practically even. They just played a few weeks ago. Went down to the wire. Vikings kicked a 61-yarder at home to win it. This game is going down to the wire. I can almost bet my life on this game being a 3-point game. One way or the other. It's going to be a 3-point game.
For sure.
So that's why picking it is going to be hard. I think there is some value with the Giants just because it is kind of a coin flip game to me. In that game, it was 27-24 total yards in that game they just played a couple weeks ago. 445 for the Giants, 353 for the Vikings.
Ooh.
Daniel Jones, 319 passing yards. This Vikings pass defense, we've been talking about all year. Ryan, how horrendous is this pass defense? I mean, they are so freaking awful. They don't get pressure on the quarterback. I just don't see how the Vikings can could ever run away with this game.
I agree. I don't see a runaway at all. You nailed it. It's going to be a 3-point win potentially. Yeah, just crazy. They're terrible at defense. I thought that they'd still have a decent defense with the pass rush. Not the case.
No, I've never. Jake, have you ever seen a -3 scoring differential and finish 13-4 in the NFL? I know we've seen it with our Seattle Mariners of baseball. They had that fluky year. No one thought they were legit. I know where you're going with that. But in the NFL, have you ever seen a -3 score? Like what? Me and Ryan know what each other think about the Vikings. Ryan believes in them because he's, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he doesn't want to back out now. And I just call him fraudulent all year. What do you think? What do you think, Jake? They're just one of those really good offenses, terrible defenses that find ways to win.
I don't think they're a good offense either. I mean, I think they have gotten just enough. And I mean, I think it proves that by having the -3 scoring differential. I mean, that's telling you one thing. They're not scoring many points when they're winning. And then when they're losing big, right? So,
big. They lost big to the Cowboys. Remember that little showdown bet we had, Ryan? Okay, keep going, Jake. Sorry.
That was, yeah. Kirk Cousins is one of those phenomenons and conundrums all at the same time. How a guy makes $30-something million a year to be the most average Joe ever, but just keeps winning. I mean, we talked about earlier about Brady Magic, right? Like Cousins has the same thing, but I don't know where it comes from, and I don't know how it happened. Stefan Diggs is probably one of the craziest humans that's ever walked the earth with the pigskin being thrown at him. I mean, he's Lynn Swan and Jerry Rice wrapped into one. He can jump out of the building, and everything that goes to him, he gets caught. He is just that crazy.
You said Stefan Diggs. Do you mean Stefan Diggs, or are you talking Justin Jefferson?
No, Justin Jefferson. Well, both.
I was going to say, Jesus, no. I didn't know you really liked Stefan Diggs that much. But
no,
Justin Jefferson you're talking about. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So he was in my brain, and he said Cowboys, and okay.
You're still thinking about fantasy and Stefan Diggs. I get it.
And winning. Yeah, my bad.
I agree, though. I told Ryan I think Justin Jefferson should be in the top 3 MVP race, and I know they don't do receivers. He's absolutely one of the best receivers I've ever seen. Obviously, Randy Moss, all those kind of guys. He's unbelievable.
I like the Lynn Swan. That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, you see how many times he jumps over guys and stuff like that, but it's the sure-handedness, it's just Kirk Cousins does nothing great,
and nothing awful. Oh, actually, nothing awful. That's false. We've gone over this, Ryan. What does he suck at, Ryan? Ryan, let's see if you've been paying attention all year. What does Kirk Cousins suck at?
I'm keeping my mouth shut against my Vikings. Go Vikings. Woo-hoo.
Okay, in case you did not watch a prior video, we had a best bet showdown when the Cowboys played the Vikings. I had the Cowboys minus whatever, 2 or 3. Ryan had the Vikings. It was like a 40-3 game. Kirk Cousins is horrendous against pressure. I mean, his QBR rating and everything is like, it's bad. It's like Carson Wentz or worse. It's not pretty. Wow. So that's where I think this could be a good game, by the way, is the Giants their strength is their front 4. They have Dexter Lawrence. They have Leonard Williams coming back. I mean, they are legit front 4. I don't think their secondary is great, but if they can get pressure on Cousins, they can keep this a game, in my opinion. So,
see,
I think we're all kind of on the same page on that.
Cousins was bad against the pass rush. I feel like maybe these last few weeks he's been playing better. I heard some stat about it, how it's improved, because I was like, the Giants could get after him in the pass rush, and that's really going to mess things up. And they're like, nope, he's been doing good against the pass rush lately. I was like, oh, well, if he can play well against the pass rush and somehow get this offense going, they could win this game, but I don't know.
Okay.
That's tight.
No, listen, when you play Madden and like somebody's going after you, and so you go in panic mode, right? Like you don't even know what's downfield anymore. You just hit the Justin Jefferson button. You say, screw it. And you hit the button and you just throw it to Justin Jefferson and he catches it. That's how you get better. You just heave it up to the best player on the planet.
I do remember seeing a play like that by him.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants are like the Seahawks. They're playing on house money. They have nothing to lose, right? I mean, playing against one of the best records in the NFL, they have nothing to lose. So I see that defense going out, trying to put as much pressure on Cousins as possible to give their team the ball, right? And it's going to be one of those things where it's either going to work out really well for him or it's going to work out really horrible. But
yes,
I mean, I don't think the line plays as well as the numbers do. I think this could get out of hand quick because Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. But
He's been playing better. He
He's
runs
been
the
playing
ball.
better.
Vikings
so
can't.
hold on.
Keep in mind that Daniel Jones has never. No, I'm not a Daniel Jones lover. Do not confuse me with that. But keep in mind that he's never really, like in the 3 years. First of all, he never had a running game the first 2 years. Never had an O-line and never had good receivers. So I think it's hard to judge him. He has not turned the ball over. I think Brian Dable is one of the best coaches there is in the NFL. He's not turned the ball over. He's finally getting a running game, and he, like I said, he threw for 319 last game against them. He's playing better this year.
He's still lost. I'm not saying, and that's the thing is, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm just not saying that he's a great quarterback.
He's better than he was when he was bad.
Okay, so that's
bad.
Oh, goodness. Yes, you can say that about a lot of people. Tua was worse as well, right? But he still played better than he did in the past. You can't
I know one person who is not playing better than they did in the past. Russell freaking Wilson.
Okay, there you go.
Anyways, there we go. And we bring it to Russ. Gotta fit Russ in there. Attaboy, Russ. More touchdowns than bathrooms. It is about dang time. Okay, real quick, since we gotta get through this game, I have a best bet on this game. I know. Everyone stop what they're doing when you're listening to me. And I say
I need to know this one.
Oh, baby. It's just simple. It's Giants +3. I put Giants money line and I erased it, put +3 because I'm scared. And I just know it's a 3-point bet. At the very worst, this is a push. At the very worst. That's how I see it.
Right.
I like the Giants +3. They already lost by 3 last time, Minnesota. They have the coaching advantage. They know how to beat them. The Vikings, like I said, if you look at these teams, if you take the records out, these teams are not as different as you think they are. So I like that we're getting the +3. I'm surprised the line makers did this. I thought it'd be more like a -2, 2.5 under that field goal. But since I'm getting the full field goal, I feel good about it. That's my best bet. Ryan, you got anything on this game for best bet?
I don't have a best bet. I'd lean the over for the total. I think Danny Dimes gets it going, gets it rolling. On the offensive end, the Vikings got to score to stay close, and I think it goes over.
Real quick, before Jake goes, that is not a best bet, by the way. That's his lean. But how did he get Danny Dimes from not being that good the first couple of years? Like, I would love to get a nickname like whatever it is that makes me sound really good for not being good. Can you explain that, Jake?
Sign me up.
Man, makes no sense. That's crazy. Jake, this is a part of your big dish at the end, or no?
Yep, it is part of my big dish at the end.
Right.
It's kind of my sleeper. I am not going to give a lean, but if I were to give a crazy lean, I would go to the under. I think 48.5 is real high for this game.
Okay. I like it. They're playing each other again, second time in 3 weeks, so I do favor defenses a little bit more. All right, next game, guys. We got to get through 2 more games, show the best bets, and then give you Super Bowl predictions, and we'll get out of here. Ravens at Bengals. Bengals -8.5. The line has moved because there's no Lamar Jackson. He did not get a contract, and it's coming back to haunt him. He wants nothing to do with getting back on the field. Trust me. They split their 2 games this year. 27-16 Bengals just won last week. I don't know if Baltimore just stayed in Cincinnati. This is a weird situation. And 19-17 the Ravens won earlier this year. I mean, guys, I don't see a lot of points in this game. But, Jake, how do you see this game going?
I see it going heavy to the Bengals. I feel like Bengals have a lot of momentum right now. They proved last year that they're a playoff caliber team. They had some rough patches this year. I just don't know if anyone could ever count out Joe Burrows. I love
Burrow.
I really do. I mean, I like that he's got a fire, but he's also so calm all the time, which I think is one of the coolest things. I could never be that guy.
No,
I'm one way.
Like when you talk to him, like you think he's just like he just got out of his mom's basement playing some games, and he's, you know what I mean, like he's just chilling, and then he goes out on the field and he's just got ice in his veins, just lethal.
Yeah, and it's the same idea. I don't think Huntley is the answer. That Ravens offense, like you said, even with Lamar Jackson, their passing offense wasn't
Garbage.
anything. And Huntley is not Lamar Jackson. I'm not a big Lamar Jackson fan. I think he's a crazy athlete. I don't see him having a future as a court. He is a big time Colin Kaepernick style guy for me, where he had 2 or 3 years of good success because he was a phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
He's a 4.4 40 guy. As a quarterback, you're giving him 7 yards to figure out what he wants to do, spread the field out, and run. But Huntley's not that.
No,
So,
he's a poor man's Lamar. I mean, he can run
Right.
a little bit, but he is Lamar. If you compare him to Michael Vick, I loved Michael Vick. He had a cannon for an arm, though. Lamar does not have a cannon. Like Michael Vick could throw that ball freaking hard. It may have gone in the first row sometimes, but I mean, he threw it hard, and he was fun to watch. But that's who he reminds me of, at least a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Real quick, before I get to you, Ryan, I will say the Bengals are missing their right guard and right tackle. I would not sleep on the Ravens in regards to this spread. 8.5 is a lot, guys, for a divisional game. 2 teams that know each other. You're right. I don't see the offense scoring a lot for the Ravens. But Joe Burrow's 2 worst games, QBR rating-wise, were against the Ravens. They got Roquan Smith, and they have been elite. They have been a top 5 defense for like the last month or two. They can hold them down a little bit. Burrow has not thrown more than 1 touchdown in a game against them. Oh, little teaser to the player prop video.
Stay tuned.
So I just want to say that I think the Ravens need J.K. Dobbins from the Ohio State to really dominate the running game. He's going to have to get something going. I don't know how they do. Both of them have top 10 rush defenses, and both are bottom 10 in pass defense. I mean, these are similar teams in regards to that defensively. Offensively, they are nowhere near each other, obviously. But I just wanted to point those out that, I would not sleep on them at all because, divisional game again. I think it's just going to be a grinder. This Bengals offense is a little overrated in my opinion. Like when they played the Buccaneers, they got 4 turnovers handed to them. There's times where they struggle. They go a lot of 3-and-outs. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But Ryan, what do you think about this game?
I think it's going to be close, but there's going to be no chance for the Ravens at the same exact time. Like their offense is so bad that there's no hope. They're going to need a turnover, a pick six, a fumble, something like that in order to get some points because Huntley, the receivers, I mean, what are you going to do? The Bengals could put like 9, 10 in the box and still know they can stop the pass just fine. Like it's terrible. The Huntley, no arm, and then Burrow, he's got to go.
Don't sleep on Mark Andrews. He's a stud.
He's good, but is he scaring a defense to take it to the house for 60? No.
If they just put 3 guys on Andrews, they're good. I mean, their receivers, who are they putting out there now? Like, who knows?
Exactly.
No one knows.
So, yeah, it's going to be low scoring and it's going to be tight, but it's going to be no contest, I feel like. It's going to be like, yeah, we know the outcome. This is how it's going to end. But, yeah. So I'm leaning.
Okay. No contest. So you guys think the Bengals blow them out?
No, not scoreboard-wise, but just performance-wise on the field. That's how I think.
Like, even if they're up by 10, you feel good about it because the Ravens have no chance. They're in control.
Easy.
Got it.
I think 7's easy.
Well, I got a best bet for you. It's a part of a teaser. 6-point teaser. We mentioned what teasers are before. You take them down or up 6 points in your favor. You put 2 teams together to get minus 120 odds. Bengals taking them from minus 8.5 down to minus 2.5. All they got to do is win by a field goal. They freaking better. They got to win by 3. That's all I need. So that's my first part of a best bet, and you'll get the second leg here coming up next game. But, I think we're good on that game. Right, guys? Anything else to add?
I would leave the under.
I'm going to take I would take points here. I think it's going to be, it's going to be over 8.5. It's going to be a 21-7 type of game. So they're going to cover easy, and it's going to look a lot worse than the scoreboard shows.
I will say 8.5 is a lot when you have an over-under of 40. It
Right.
seems like when you have low-scoring games, 8.5 is a lot. But then again, how can you watch TV and watch this game and root and just watch your Ravens offense and go, why did I bet on this team? It's so bad. Oh, God, why? So anyways, next game, Monday night, last game, Cowboys at Bucs. America's stupid team, the Cowboys, and America's stupid quarterback, Tom Brady. They are facing off. These are 2 teams I cannot trust at all. I'm going to say something right now. The Cowboys are not the same team. So if you're sitting here thinking the Cowboys are this team that gets after the quarterback, the highest pressure rate in the NFL, yes, they did in the first half of the season. First of all, they're not the same on the road. And second of all, they are not the same defense. They have been getting crushed lately. The Commanders took it to them last week, and that's not the only team. They have been struggling. Micah Parsons was their engine. He has 2 sacks and 4 QB hits in the last 6 games. He has hit a wall. This defense has hit a wall. Their offensive line can't block, and when they don't block well, we start realizing that Dak is not a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback when he had the best offensive line in the league. He is.
So you're just figuring that out?
Yeah, no, I've known it for a while. I just wanted the people to know. I've been saying that for a while.
Sorry,
Dak
people.
Prescott's thrown an interception 7 straight games. I wanted to bet another interception, but it's minus 180 right now to throw an interception. He's thrown a pick in 9 of the last 10 games. Like, guys, he's not very good if his O-line's not blocking. They rely on Zeke and Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a stud, by the way.
Oh my gosh, he's crazy.
But they're just not the same team. And then you go to the other side, freaking Buccaneers. I don't want to hear just Tom Brady. Okay, I get it. He will have an impact in this game. He will be the reason that if they lose, they keep it close at least, and it's competitive. But they have not looked good all year. I know him and Mike Evans has connected a little bit more lately, and that's scary because if he can connect with Mike Evans, they are a dangerous duo. But they're just not great in the offensive and defensive lines. I think it's 2 teams that are weak in the trenches right now. But I trust the Bucs defense a little more than the Cowboys. And I trust Brady more than Dak. I think that's an easy statement. And here's the last thing I got before I kick it over to you guys. Cowboys haven't won a road playoff game in 30 years. Mic drop. Ryan, what do you got?
Oh, you nailed a lot of it for me already. I mean, the Cowboys have really been struggling. Dak is just not a good quarterback when he's relied upon to make a lot of throws, a lot of big plays and things like that. If he's got a running game going and a good offensive line, throw the ball 25, 27 times, that's his wheelhouse. He needs to start throwing over 34, 35 a game. It's trouble for the Cowboys, like you said, throwing a lot of picks. He's won 1 playoff game, and he's playing against Brady, who's won, 34 more? Who knows? I mean, Brady in the playoffs is somebody you don't want to play. I know they've struggled all season, but it's Brady in the playoffs, and they find ways. And even this season, they found ways. They keep it close, get it to the fourth quarter, and then hopefully Brady magic comes alive and wins the game, and typically it works.
Are you talking about the Bucs finding ways to win? Congratulations to find ways to win. 2 against the Panthers, 2 games against the Falcons, 2 games against the Saints. Tough division. And didn't they still finish under 500? What was their final record?
That was because they threw that last game. They didn't need it. They would have beat them. They would have beat them.
They did.
Okay. Okay, whatever. Jake, get this show back on track, please.
I'm leaning heavy on the Cowboys here. The Bucs have the 5th lowest interception rate for DB play. So Dak sure throws a lot of picks. But the Bucs don't get it. But the Bucs don't get a lot of picks.
Yeah, but Dak gives them out like Oprah. Come on, dude. You get a pick. You get a pick.
You could have said Ellen, but
Ellen. We can't talk Ellen. That's just too much debate there. Okay.
We're gonna go the other way. Keep the ball on the ground. I mean, like you said, with Zeke and Pollard, those 2 guys it's a great 1-2 punch. I thought the Cowboys stepped away from Zeke too early in his career, but Pollard has just shown to be that guy, and he catches the ball out of the backfield. So I feel like this is going to be a little more lopsided towards the Cowboys. When you talk about Micah Parsons hitting a wall, that wall is 2 and 3 linemen and a running back. I mean, when you're throwing half of your team on one guy, what's that say about the rest of your defense? Is that they're still giving up, points and points and points and points. But you got to think about it this way as well. It wasn't that long ago that they pulled out a win against a good Philadelphia Eagles team late in the fourth quarter. So they have the potential. It's going to be one of those things that we've talked about, like all the teams in the playoffs. What team's going to show up, and who are you willing to bet on when to decide which one of those teams shows up. I get Ryan. We talked about this before too. Mm-hmm. How can you not put money on Brady? I mean, he's that guy, right? He's him for sure. Dak, not him, but it takes more than one player to win a game. And that Cowboys offense has 2 great running backs. They have 2 great tight ends. Well, They have a great tight end and a really good tight end, and they got CeeDee Lamb, man. I think they got a lot of weapons against a very mediocre secondary. So I'm leaning heavy on those Cowboys.
I think both secondaries are the Cowboys secondary is awful. I agree with
Right.
that. They were good because they got a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. I just trust this Bucs defense. I just trust more. I think their front four is a little bit better than the Cowboys, but to me, it just comes down to it's going to be one in the trenches. I mean, most games are, but I just think if Dak is getting pressured and they don't have the running game going, the Cowboys are going to be in trouble. Dak is, by the way, 0-4 against the spread in the playoffs. He joins Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer as the only two quarterbacks in NFL history that are 0-4 or worse against the spread in the playoffs. It means nothing
Go
for this
Bengals.
game. I just felt like saying that.
Yeah, but that's Palmer. The Bengals. That's a really poor team.
Spread, though. Spread is evened out. Come on now.
They were still good, the Bengals. Both dudes were with the Bengals.
Carson Palmer played for someone else after that, too. It was
Cardinals, but I'm pretty sure anyways.
Carson Palmer is legit for the Cardinals. The Bengals won the Super Bowl last year, so stop the disrespect. Okay? You got it?
I'm not a Dak guy. I'm not saying that by any means, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's a time to break everything, right? There's a time to break everything. And
correct. Yes. Will it be Dak finally winning, or will it be Kirk Cousins in primetime? There's so many things that just need to be broken. But I will say I really hope they tie and they put the Lions in. Can we do that?
Oh, that would be cool.
If there's two teams that I want to see win, it's Tom Brady's team and the Cowboys. Unfortunately, one of these teams has to move forward. But I have my best bet for this game. It is the second part of my teaser. The Bucs, I'm taking it up from +2.5 to +8.5 because I don't see any way in hell that they lose by more than 8 points in this game. They have a chance to win it, obviously. So I got Bengals -2.5, Bucs +8.5. Put those two together, -120. Count your money later. That's what we got. Ryan, you got anything on this game?
Oh, I sure do. I got money line for the Bucs at where is it? +120. Money line for the Bucs. I just see them winning it. I mean, if the Cowboys can get a ground game going and stay to it, then fine. But I can see Brady kind of catching a spark, getting some passing touchdowns early, and then Dak's got to throw, and that's bad news for the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys.
Real quick. Does it seem kind of weird that Tampa Bay is playing at home against the Cowboys team that has just struggled for the most part the last month? They're not the same defense, all that stuff, and they're still getting 2.5 points, and Tom Brady's the quarterback. The whole thing just seems
weird.
Almost like a trap, but it just seems too easy. Like it's just the spread is weird. I thought it'd be more of a pick-em, maybe even Bucs -1. I think it's a weird spread. What do you think, Jake? You got any best bet?
I got no best bets, but I'm leaning Cowboys. I just don't see the Bucs coming through.
Okay, well, you're gonna fall over if you lean too much.
That's fine.
Anyways, that's
I'll make
what
a
we
bet
got.
with you on that one.
Oh, easy side bet, definitely.
Side bet. Let's do it.
You want straight up or you want spread?
I'll go straight up. I'll take either one. You go. You go. Ryan, what should we do?
What's the spread right now? We got 2.5. Is it Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cowboys 2.5. Ryan's just waiting for that ticker to come by.
I was like, wait a second. I want to get it exactly. It's not going quick enough. Come on.
Yeah. Ryan, what's our bet? You got a bet for us?
Like what you guys have to do if whoever wins?
Yeah. Pie in the face.
Oh, that's a great one. I love that. Let's do a pie in the face.
Okay, but if it's banana cream, I need a little bit before because those are so good. Okay. Pie in the face. I got Bucs +2.5. You got Cowboys -2.5.
Yep. I'll take it.
All right.
I love it. This is awesome.
Seeing a video of a pie all up in that beard.
Someone's getting pied in the face. I'm staying out of it.
All right. Let's get to the best bets recap page.
Wait. Before that, don't we need to get Jake's plate? He talked about this big plate of stuff.
I think he said, he likes the Cowboys, right?
Right. No, but my last bet.
Oh, you're gonna announce it now. Yeah. Let's give me your tasty dish.
So I got a 4-team parlay here. Okay. I'm taking Chargers money line. Okay. I'm going Bengals money line. I'm taking Giants money line. Who was my fourth?
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up while you say it. Yeah, let's do it. What does he got?
Where'd it
The
go?
Giants,
Bills.
Bengals,
Oh, yeah,
Bills,
obviously.
and
Bills.
Chargers.
Yep.
The Bills,
And
the easiest leg,
that's gonna
probably.
pump me up to plus 492. I just feel like obviously the Bills and the Bengals, those are gimme games. Like I said earlier, I think the Chargers are just playing way too good, and they're just ready. And flip the coin on the Giants to give me a great plus minus on this game, on this parlay. So that's my tasty dish, cooking it up. Gonna give me some money this week.
Like it, I like it. Giants is really the big underdog
Yep.
upset, and plus 492. That's a nice winner. Finish out Jake's bet. He got Stephon Diggs over 77.5 receiving yards, like we talked about in that game. He thinks he gets it by halftime. And then let's go to Ryan's bets. We can skip the first one. It's a loser. Over 42.5 Seahawks 49ers at minus 110. They've never done it yet this year, but Ryan says they're going to just light it up the scoreboard. And then the second bet is the Buccaneers money line. Tom Brady at plus 120 at home in the playoffs. He took it. He likes it. I actually like it too. My best bets under 42.5. We're doing a little showdown. We need something for that bet too, don't we, Ryan?
We
Maybe
might
that's
have
up
to.
to Jake. He's got that. So I'll go under 42.5 for that. Am I gonna get 2 pies thrown in my face? Then we're gonna go Giants plus 3, kind of like what we talked about earlier. They got a chance to win this outright. I'm taking plus 3 to be safe. And then that 6-point teaser: Bengals minus 2.5, Bucs plus 8.5. Put it together, minus 120. Lock those 3 in. Player props. You know what we do on player props. Those are going to be coming probably Friday since games start on Saturday. We have been on an absolute roll on those lately. So stay tuned for that on TikTok and YouTube. And that is where we are at. As you know, for the season, we won 14 units. We wanted to get to 20, but the last few weeks were friggin' weird, and we didn't get there. But plus 14, we will take it for the first year. It was a ton of fun. Let's get some winners in this playoffs. But before we finish today, let's give some predictions, because that's what everybody wants is predictions. We are going to tell you who is going to be in the Super Bowl, who is going to win it, and maybe one underdog dangerous team out there that you got to worry about. Because I'm going to tell you, the Bengals were not picked to go to the Super Bowl last year. They were the underdog team. Who can get hot and get there? Let's start out with you, Ryan. Who do you got as a dangerous team, and who do you got playing the Super Bowl and winning it?
I've been saying it all year. Chiefs and Eagles, they're the 2 better teams in each of these divisions. Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes, most likely going to win the MVP. Hurts is back. They got a deeper roster. The injuries towards the end of the season against the Eagles kind of scares me a little bit, but the NFC, there's not a whole bunch of deep quarterbacks that they got to play against, or great quarterbacks that they got to play against. So go in there, and I'm going to go with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. That's where I'm going.
Okay, what about a dangerous team that could
A dangerous
maybe throw a
team?
kink in all this?
Yeah, a team that no one wants to play, I don't think, honestly, is Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in the playoffs. Yes, the Buccaneers
Oh
team
my
isn't
Lord.
great. It's still Tom Brady. I'm sorry. In the playoffs, he just had to get here. I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I just can't do it.
Okay. A dangerous team. Like if they went to the Super Bowl, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I could see it. Like, name great quarterbacks in the NFC that he would be playing
It's
against.
it's a team sport, dude. It's not tennis.
It is. I agree, but
Tennis
quarterbacks
can
can
be
take
doubles,
the
though.
go away, can take over sometimes,
Yeah.
and he can do it.
Okay. No, I get it. Tom Brady, he's proven it many times. I understand. Speaking of tennis, it's weird that Jake's here because I used to kick his ass in tennis when we were younger.
There was no
like
net.
I would go
So-
shirtless and just rock him. Like I was 70 pounds soaking wet, and I would just take him to school. He couldn't handle it. He just couldn't.
That's not true. Pull up the tape. Pull up the tape.
Check the tape.
I wish I had it. Darn it.
Jake, give me a dangerous team Super Bowl matchup and who's winning it.
I have my dangerous team is the 49ers. I'm going 49ers Chiefs. I'm taking 49ers. And Bosa is going to be my MVP.
Wow.
Yep. I just feel like we have seen it way too often in this recent past, in the last 5 or 10 years, where defenses have dominated games. I think Brock Purdy has enough weapons around him that he will keep them in the ball game, and their defense is just too good. I mean, the Seahawks, when we won our Super Bowl, why did we win? Because we had a great defense. We stopped Peyton Manning, who is by far you can talk about the best quarterbacks of all time, right? I think there's era quarterbacks. He is in that category with a great team, with that Broncos team, and we just shut him down. So I'm thinking that
They
the
set
49ers
records that year too, I believe, right?
right,
He threw like
most
50
points in the
touchdowns
season.
Yep.
Most team points. So as great as Kansas City is, they lost in the Super Bowl a couple years ago to a great defense, right? So it just can happen.
So you have the Niners winning, right? Over
Yep.
the who was it?
Over Kansas City. Yep.
Over Kansas City. Okay.
Yep. And
All right.
Bosa is going to dominate that game. And he will pick up the MVP because he is going to have 3 sacks, forced fumble, and he will be the cause for that win.
Wow. Okay. I like it. Way to go out on a limb on the dangerous team, picking a team that people think are going to win the Super Bowl. Anyways,
they are. It's dangerous.
Yeah, they're dangerous because they're freaking good. Here's my that's true. You're technically not wrong. You are correct. My dangerous team, the Los Angeles Chargers. I know, but we have to dig deep. This team is a team that is built to beat the Chiefs. They have played the Chiefs tough every single game. And if they win and they play the Chiefs next round, the Chiefs are not locked into winning that game. I'm telling you right now. The Chargers know how to play them. They are dangerous. They remind me of the Bengals last year. Unfortunately, their coach is a freaking idiot. And they can't get out of their own way sometimes. But their pass defense has improved. As long as they don't get run all over, I think they can be a dangerous team. That's how you do it right there, Jake. And then also, Super Bowl matchup. The San Francisco 49ers. If they can get by our Seahawks, it's not going to be easy. Okay, I can't even keep a straight face. The San Francisco 49ers. And who am I going with, Ryan?
Oh, are you going to go with those stupid Bills? Josh Allen isn't going to be able to make it. He's going to throw too many picks one game and be done, but just like Jake is saying.
First of all, I have a future bet on him, and I don't back out. I'm loyal. This is for Damar Hamlin. I think it's going to juice this team. This is a team of destiny. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they better play more consistent. But the Buffalo Bills, 49ers, Super Bowl, that would be a hell of a game to watch. Unfortunately, Josh Allen might get exposed if he plays the 49ers a little bit against that defense. The winner and Super Bowl champion is a team that I loved growing up and now I hate. The San Francisco 49ers will win the Super Bowl. Lock it in. We got 2 49er bets, and Ryan went with the Chiefs. I love me some Mahomes, but I just don't think they got enough on defense. So that's the deal. But let's face it, the Bills and Chiefs are playing, and we'll see. It's whoever wins in the fourth quarter. Oh, MVP? Ooh, that's a good game. That's a good one. I'm going to go McCaffrey on that one because the Bills can be run all over. I think McCaffrey gets it there. Debo ain't going to get it. Man, I like that Bosa one, though.
I do. I like that Bosa. That'd be cool to see a defensive MVP. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Kittle's super dangerous, especially if Purdy keeps going to that well. I mean, I can see them pulling out, a couple 2-3 touchdowns and, Kittle getting there. But I just think that defense is going to be the factor for the rest of the playoffs.
Yep, I agree. Purdy, don't make mistakes. Make some big throws on third down when you need it. Get it to your weapons. Let your D work. Niners roll to the championship.
Control the clock.
I've loved the Eagles all year. I really have. Yep. With Hurts injury and the way they're playing now, the Niners are humming. They are humming right now. So that's where we're at. Whew, baby, take a deep breath. That was fun. So we're gonna go live on Saturday. Don't forget Chargers Jaguars. I think the game is 5:15, so 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna be on probably, I'd say, 30-45 minutes before game time. It's gonna be right around when the Seahawks end. So we're gonna get on either happy or really pissed off. And then before that game, we're gonna give out some best bets. Give you some player props, what we think is going to happen in the game. We'll talk some maybe football trivia and just go back and forth with you guys just like we did in the NBA game, except this time we got a ton more followers, so this could be a lot of fun. Maybe give us some of your best bets, and let's get some winners together. So thanks, everyone, again, for supporting this podcast. It's been a lot of fun. We will also be back next week for the next round of the NFL playoffs. Until next time, first of all, Jake, thanks for being here, though. That
Appreciate
was awesome.
Ton of fun.
A lot of fun.
What a great time, guys.
Yeah, you the man. All right, guys. Take it easy.